Hey guys, my name is Billy. Welcome to the first installment of Motivate My Monday videos. In this series, I'm going to be showing you easy and actionable techniques you can use to start making changes in your lives, to become happier and healthier, and to really develop a positive attitude. So let's get to it. Today, I'm going to be showing you an easy exercise you can do to start changing the thought process that goes on inside your head into a positive one. So this process, I'm going to call it the cognitive loop. It starts with thoughts. Now your thoughts can be anything. The grass is green, this chair is really comfortable, or I'm going to go out and have a good day today. Those are all examples of thoughts. Now our thoughts influence our emotions, the way we feel. Humans have a very wide range of emotions. We might feel really angry or kind of down and depressed. Or we might feel really happy and energetic. Those are all some examples of emotions. There's a lot more out there. But your emotions influence your actions. So the things you actually do. For instance, if I'm feeling kind of sad and depressed, my action might be to not do anything, to just lay in bed all day. But on the other hand, if I'm feeling really good and energetic and joyful, my action is probably going to be completely different, almost opposite of as if I were really depressed or sad. I might go out and start meeting new people and talking to strangers, or I might follow through on a business idea I had. The point is that your emotions really do have an impact on your actions. Now this next step, it doesn't exactly occur in the brain, but it's very important to this whole process. And that is the feedback you get on your actions. So anytime you do something, you're going to get feedback, whether it be from other people or objects or yourself. For instance, let's say I punch a wall. I'm probably going to get some pretty strong feedback that says, "Oh man, that really hurts," from my hand. And I might get some feedback from the wall saying, "I'm not gonna move, buddy." Those are some examples of feedback. Now, for any given action, you're probably going to encounter multiple forms of feedback. Now, this last step is where we close the loop. And we close the loop through interpretation. Interpretation. I said that kind of funny. We close the loop through interpretation. So anytime we get feedback, we're going to interpret that a certain way, and that's going to influence our thoughts. And we're back to where we started. So let me give you an example of this, an entire loop, so you can get a good picture of what's going on. I'll do a positive one first, and then I'll do a negative one after that. So let's start with the thought that this chair is really comfortable. From there, our emotions might be something of relaxation or confidence even. And from there, we might go out and smile at a stranger. And the feedback we get from that stranger, I'm having a hard time talking today, obviously. The feedback we get from that stranger could be a smile. And so we could interpret that as people like me. We're probably going to come up with a positive interpretation for positive feedback, but it's not always like that, but most of the time. So when we start to think people like me, our emotion goes up even more into the positive realm. We start to feel really good, and so we go out and we smile at more people. We might help some other people. And the world is going to give us more positive feedback. And with that positive feedback, that's going to reinforce that interpretation that people like me, the world likes me. You're going to start to feel really good. And it's going to put you in this virtuous cycle of positivity. It's going to give you some momentum for your day. And your whole day is going to go really well, hopefully. Now I'll give you an example of a negative cognitive loop. What I'll do is I'll start with the same thought, and then I'll show you where it goes wrong. So this chair is really comfortable. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident, relaxed. I'm going to go out and smile at someone. But this time, the feedback I get is different. The person, instead of smiling back at me, they just give me the nastiest snarl you can imagine. And my interpretation changes from people like me to people don't like me. And I start to feel really bad about myself. My confidence drops, my happiness drops, my actions change. So instead of going around and smiling everywhere, I start to just have a kind of cold, bitter stare. And the world gives me a lot of negative feedback back, which again reinforces that interpretation that people don't like me. And that can send you in a downward spiral into negativity. It's going to be hard for you to recover from that. So that's why this is really important. This exercise I'm about to show you is going to work on the interpretation part of this cognitive loop to try and change it into a more positive interpretation. So what I want you to do, this is the exercise. Start recognizing your thoughts as you're having them through the day, specifically negative ones. Whenever you have a negative thought, I just want you to write it down on a piece of paper. You don't have to do anything with it. You don't have to interpret it in any way right now, but just write it down. If you're having the same thought keeps recurring over and over, you only have to write it down once. So go throughout your entire day and write down all the negative thoughts you have throughout the day. If it helps, you can yell "stop" whenever you have one, but do it in your head because you don't want to sound crazy. But that can help you get in the habit of recognizing these negative thoughts. So write them out all down throughout the day. Then at the end of the day or the beginning of the next day, go through and in another column, write down positive alternatives to those negative thoughts. So for instance, let's say you yelled "stop" and some guy looked at you really funny and said, "Man, is something wrong with you? What are you doing?" And you interpreted that as, "I must be crazy." A positive alternative to that thought is, "No, I'm not crazy. Actually, I'm just interesting and unique." So you would write that down next to the negative thought of "I'm crazy." And you do this for all of your thoughts throughout the day. And what you create is this list you can refer back to that allows you to replace the negative thoughts you have through the day with positive ones. So whenever you have a negative thought, and you can look back at your list and go, "Oh, okay, my thinking is flawed right now. This is actually what's going on." And it can really help you change those interpretations. Now, this may seem tedious at first, but you don't have to write down thoughts forever. You just need to do it long enough to where it starts to become automatic. And what happens is you'll be going throughout your day, and all of a sudden you'll be like, whoa, hold on. Why am I feeling so bad right now? What are my thoughts? Okay, I'm having this negative thought. I'm going to replace it with this positive one. And you'll be able to just come up with them on the spot like that after doing this for a little while. And so your thought process will become very positive. Now, if you want to take this exercise one step further, what you can do is create a third column where you write down why the negative thoughts were negative. So, for instance, let's take the example of the guy frowning at me. I interpreted that as people don't like me. A positive alternative to that could be, actually, that guy was just having a bad day. People really do like me. And the reason why it was negative was I took someone else's problem, the guy having a bad day, and I projected it onto myself. I took it personally. So if you do this for all your thoughts, you're really going to start getting in the habit of stopping these negative thoughts when you have them and replacing them with positive things. And it's really going to make a big impact on your day-to-day life, which makes a big impact on your weeks, on your months, and on your entire life. You'll just start to be a happier, more positive person. And so I hope you learned something today and that you'll take this to heart and apply it. That's all I have for you. I look forward to seeing you next time.